Join us today in the captivating story of how a poor boy named Carl Benz changed the course of history and birthed the iconic Mercedes-Benz. The tale of Mercedes-Benz is all about the determination and vision of Carl Benz, the genius man who created a billion-dollar company. Our story unfolds not in the plush seats of a Mercedes-Benz, but in the humble town of Mühlberg, Germany. Meet Carl Benz, born into a low-class household in November 1844. His father, a locomotive driver, left this world when Carl was just 2, plunging the family into dire financial straits. But hardship only fueled the fire in Carl's heart. Despite growing up in the shadows of poverty, Carl's mother was a force of resilience. She ensured her son got a quality education. And guess what? Carl showed early signs of brilliance, particularly in chemistry and mechanics. This dude was destined for greatness. Fast forward to Carl at 15 deciding to follow in his father's footsteps. He tackled the entrance exam for mechanical engineering at the University of Karlsruhe. Enter Ferdinand Rettenberger, the maestro teacher who flipped mechanical engineering into a technical science. He became Carl's guiding star. Now picture this: Carl, a regular bicycle rider, tinkering with his bike, dreaming of a day when it could go beyond pedal power. Inspired by the winds of innovation, he envisioned a horseless carriage. But hold your horses. Others had tried and failed before. Steam engines were all the rage, but Carl had a different vision. Under Professor Rettenberger's guidance, Carl realized he needed to reinvent the wheel, quite literally. He noticed that early automobile attempts were stuck in steam engine tech. With a dash of brilliance, he conceptualized a totally different beast. Sure, some laughed at his dreams, but Carl always knew he was onto something. It was just a matter of time. Graduating from Karlsruhe at a mere 19, Carl then embarked on a 7-year engineering odyssey. Various jobs, a bit of struggle, but each hurdle fueled his determination. This guy wasn't fitting into anyone else's mold. He was creating his own. And then, like a phoenix rising from the ashes of doubt, Carl Benz kickstarted his own venture. His dream? To build the first horseless carriage, a vehicle not bound by the whims of steam engines. This wasn't just about getting from point A to B. It was about defying the odds. Now, let's fast forward to the late 19th century. Carl's vision had taken tangible form. The Benz patent motorwagen, the world's first production car, hit the roads. The naysayers silenced, and Carl proved that dreams and determination could outshine even the darkest clouds of doubt. Heartbroken and frustrated, Carl walked away from his brainchild Benz and sighed. The genius behind the innovations suddenly had no say. But folks, this wasn't the end. It was just the pit stop. Dissatisfaction fueled Carl's determination. Enter Max Rose and Friedrich Wilhelm, 2 bicycle enthusiasts running a repair shop in Mannheim. They joined forces with Carl, establishing Benz and Psi 2.0. This time, instead of soaring too close to the sun, they focused on industrial machines and stationary gas engines. Guess what? Success knocked on their door. With a staff of 25 and steady cash flow, Carl redirected his horsepower towards his lifelong dream, building an automobile. Picture this. In the year 1885, a time when horse-drawn carriages still ruled the roads, but Carl Benz, armed with the innovation bug and inspired by bicycle technology, crafted what many consider the first real automobile, the Benz patent motorwagen. This bad boy, a 2-seater tricycle powered by a gasoline 4-stroke motor, hit the streets with the gusto of a pioneer. Now, it wasn't a speed demon, pushing a mere 7 miles per hour with a 1-cylinder engine churning out 2/3 of a horsepower. But oh boy, it was a game changer. In the scorching summer of 1886, after tweaking and refining, Carl rolled out his wonder car to the public, ready to unleash a revolution. But Carl, the visionary, was unwavering. He kicked off manufacturing in 1888, becoming the world's first car salesman. His wife, Bertha, stood by his side, offering suggestions and being the ultimate cheerleader. Yet, despite improvements, the masses weren't sold. Cars were a rich man's game, and the elite weren't all that keen. Why? Well, these early autos were noisy, messy, and let's not forget, pricey. Enter the turning point. The trip that shook the foundations of the automobile world. In the summer of 1888, Bertha, without a word to Carl or the police, took the wheel of her husband's creation and embarked on a journey to visit her mother, a whopping 66 miles away. That, my friends, was no casual Sunday drive. It was a statement. Bertha's journey wasn't just about proving a point, it was a catalyst for change. People began to see the practicality of this invention. Carl's vision was slowly becoming a reality. But, my friends, the road to acceptance was still bumpy. The automobile faced resistance, skepticism, and an uphill battle against tradition. It was a tough sell, but Carl remained steadfast in his belief that this horseless carriage was the future, and he was determined to make the world see it. Now keep in mind, back then, no car or motorized carriage had dared to venture on a journey like the one Bertha was about to embark on, a daring 66-mile trek that would go down in history. Bertha, the wife of the genius Carl, had a mission to prove the world wrong about her husband's invention. So, without informing Carl or the authorities, she took the wheel of the Benz patent motor wagon and set off to visit her mother in Pforzheim. This daring adventure wasn't just a road trip, it was a marketing masterstroke. Bertha's journey brought unparalleled publicity to Carl's business. Soon, Benz & Cie was expanding faster than a souped-up engine. By 1890, it had become the second-largest engine manufacturer in Germany, not because of selling cars, but thanks to their stationary gasoline engines. But here's where the story takes a turn. Enter Friedrich von Fischer and Julius Ganz, the dynamic duo of business partners. They joined the Benz & Cie party. This allowed Carl to focus on what he did best, engineering dreams into reality. And boy, did he dream. Carl patented a flurry of innovations that would set the automotive world on fire. Imagine this: the planetary gear transmission, the double pivot steering, and the flat engine with a boxer configuration. These were the blueprints of the future, crafted by the hands of a visionary. As the Benz company reveled in its newfound success, another contender was revving its engine not too far away: Daimler Motoren Gesellschaft. This was a German automobile group founded by Gottlieb Daimler. By 1908, they had a 120-horsepower beast roaring from Leningrad to Moscow in record time. The real showstopper, though, was the 200-horsepower Blitz und Benz. Built in 1909, this race car shattered speed records, hitting over 140 miles per hour in 1911. Suddenly, Benz was back in the race alongside Daimler, and both companies enjoyed a sweet taste of success. But just as the engines were roaring, World War I hit, throwing a wrench into everyone's lives and the global economy. After Germany's defeat, both Daimler and Benz found themselves struggling in the economic recession. To ensure survival, the rivals put their competition aside, signed a truce in 1924, and agreed to combine forces. So here we are in the late 1920s. The German economy is doing the cha-cha, and Daimler and Benz decide to tango together. They merge but retain their individual names, hoping to cut costs. But as the German economy hits a pothole, they're forced into a full-on merger in 1926, birthing a new powerhouse, Daimler-Benz. Under this new banner, they rebrand their vehicles as Mercedes-Benz, giving us a name that would echo through the ages. In the late 1920s, they unleashed some impressive models, the Mercedes-Benz Type 630 and the SS and SSK models. A name you might recognize in this mix? Ferdinand Porsche, one of their star engineers, whose legacy would shine bright in the car industry. But alas, Carl Benz, the visionary behind it all, witnesses the success from the boardroom as he passes away in 1929 at the age of 84. His automobiles continue to roar on the roads, leaving a legacy that reverberates through the auto industry. Now, let's shift gears to an unexpected turn in the Mercedes-Benz journey. Hitler rises to power in 1933 and decides to showcase German engineering prowess to the world. How? By diving headfirst into international motorsports. He throws a hefty subsidy at Daimler-Benz to dominate Grand Prix races. And dominate they did, speeding up to 200 miles per hour with their W25 and W125 models. But hold your horsepower, because they weren't alone on the track. A new contender, Auto Union, joins the race. The result? A German duo, Mercedes-Benz and Auto Union, leaving everyone in their dust. They win 25 races from 1935 to 1937, putting Germany at the pinnacle of motorsports. Mercedes-Benz becomes the golden child of Nazi Germany, even earning the stamp of approval from Hitler himself. The luxurious Mercedes-Benz 770 becomes the preferred ride for high-ranking Nazi officials. It's safe to say that Mercedes-Benz was not only conquering racetracks, but also political podiums. Now let's have a look at the situation of Mercedes-Benz in recent years. In 2022, Mercedes-Benz passenger cars sold 2,043,900 vehicles to customers, which was slightly down by 1%. They're moving towards an all-electric future, with deliveries of xEV models, plug-in hybrids, and battery electric vehicles, including Smart, reaching 319,200 units, up by 19%. These xEV models accounted for 15% of all Mercedes-Benz cars sold that year. The delivery of battery electric vehicles, BEVs, more than doubled, reaching 117,800 units, up by 124%. Almost every second xEV sale from Mercedes-Benz cars was a battery electric vehicle, 44%. As part of their shift toward going all-electric by the end of the decade, Mercedes-Benz announced plans for their own high-power charging network, consisting of more than 10,000 chargers worldwide, ensuring easy and fast charging for their customers. Drop down comments below and do like and subscribe for more interesting videos.